We're live. It's what, the 25th of February. There's no snow on the ground yet. It's coming at midnight tonight. We weren't snowed out. I'm very, very happy. And it's a full moon, so and the werewolves are out, yes. Hi, Christy.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi.
Oh, now you can see me. I wasn't going to talk until you could see me.
Yes. Tonight we have something a little different. It's going to be real fun. And I know, especially for you, because you're a big-time cat lover.
I sure am. I have 3 cats and a dog.
Yes, we have Meow Incorporated with us tonight. We're going to talk about their organization. And before we go to our quickie commercial break, we have to say a special hello to our 2 talented cameramen who could not be with us tonight, Carl and Matt Fisher. Guys, we miss you.
Yes, we do.
Yes, and we have, what, 2 more shows?
Yes, we do.
And you better be here. And, now Christy has an announcement.
No, I have an announcement concerning you.
Oh.
Jeff just got cast in a show at Clockwork Repertory Theater, and you can see him there in March.
In
March.
March or April, yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Well,
they didn't cast me, so we'll go see Jeff.
Yeah, I play a neurotic. It's a real stretch. But yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, smoke and mirrors. It's funny. Hope you'll come down and throw eggs at me or something. Yeah. Okay, well.
That's it.
Yes. Well, having said that, I think we'll go to a quickie commercial break, and we'll be back with Meow Incorporated.
Welcome to TGIF.
Okay, I'd like to welcome Mary Hundorf and Beth Thobus from Meow Incorporated. And I'd like to introduce our very special guest over here. Can we get a close-up of Minu? Is that close? Yeah, there she is.
1, 2, 3,
Aww. Hey, I've been looking forward to this show for a long time. I am a cat fanatic. Okay. Hey, I didn't ask you. Okay.
So, welcome to TGIF.
Oh, you are going to talk?
Yes. I was just going to say welcome. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, well, we had a nice chat before the show, and there's like all kinds of things that you do. I think one of the things that we talked about was that perhaps the community sort of tends to view the organization simply as a cat shelter, and actually there's a lot more to it, and we're hoping that you'll share that with our audience, some of the different things that you are involved in. First of all, how long have you been an organization? How long has Meow Incorporated been in this area?
Well, this is our 10-year anniversary.
Oh, happy
1994.
1994.
Yes.
And you are located here in Litchfield?
Yes.
Okay. And you do take, well, we're not going to focus on that, but you do take in strays and find places for them to live?
Right. I think that's people's primary perception of us.
But you do
and that is a big part.
Okay.
Now, where is this shelter located?
10 Naser Road. 10 Naser
10
Road.
Naser Road?
Right.
Okay.
In East Litchfield.
Okay, now, both of you are on the board of directors for the organization, and that's kind of a broad title there. So, could you tell us a little bit about what each of you do, to work on the organization, what your functions are, and how? And you're a veterinarian, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you're a busy person during the day, and this is something that you do in addition to that. So, what do you do in this organization?
I guess, well, right now I'm executive chairperson of the board, and since I've been involved with Meow since it began, and I seem to know the most about its history, it kind of evolved. I kind of just fell into the position. And up until recently, we've all tended to do a little bit of everything. Now we're doing a bit more streamlining, and I tend to do volunteer medical work for the organization and oversee the shelter's medical program. With some of the tougher behavioral and medical counseling, I get involved in that, and also some of the fundraising.
Okay, now, you were mentioning certain programs you had. You were talking about having pets, working with older people in nursing homes.
Yes, that goes back to wanting to get away from being just an organization perceived as taking in strays. We are very much into educating the general public about, first of all, the importance of the human-pet bond, and second of all, about how strays are everyone's responsibility, not just animal welfare organizations that are small and often can't take them all.
So in other words, there's a common perception that if you just find a stray, you can drop it off at meow or whatever, and it'll automatically be taken care
It's
of. and
automatically.
That's not the case.
Yeah.
Okay, you only have room for how many cats at Meow at a time?
20 cats at the shelter.
20 cats. So oftentimes you are unable to take in a stray.
I would say for every one cat we take in, we probably turn 25 away.
Okay, and when they go to the Humane Society, how long are they given to try and find a home for them before they're put to sleep?
I'm not sure the exact days, but I
Okay.
believe it's about a week or so. But Meow is non-destroy, and that's
Right.
one of the reasons that we can't take in as many as we would like to, because sometimes it takes longer to place, a cat. And people don't realize that. When they
Yeah.
call, I mean, sometimes they just say, you need to take this cat, and a lot of times we can't, but we will try to help them out in some way.
Now you
give-
mentioned, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't, go ahead.
To give them other suggestions as to what to do, to actually take the time to talk with them and let them know that we do indeed care and we're there for them if we can't take the cat in.
The reason I mentioned that about the Humane Society was just in talking to people on a general basis. A lot of people do not know that they are destroyed
Yes,
when
they
they are
are.
taken there, and I wanted to make that very clear because
Yes, they
that breaks my heart.
Yep.
You mentioned, just quickly, I'd like to go into this, that you also have foster homes for the cats.
Right,
That
yeah,
you're a foster
yeah.
parent.
Right, right. That's actually how I started off with Meow. There was an article in the local newspaper about Mary and all the cats in her home and all, and I said, oh, this looks interesting. Well, I called, and so continues the story. I thought it would be very good for me to be a foster home because I always took in strays, as a teenager and all. And there is a limit as to what one person can do. So I felt if I got with a group, I would have more opportunity to take in the strays and find them good homes. And I started off with a pregnant, or actually the cat had kittens, and it's very rewarding to take them in. Sometimes they're sick, sometimes they're really starving. Sometimes they're a real mess. But by the time we get done with them and place them into good homes, it makes it all worthwhile. It's a long process, though, by the time that you start and by the time that you finish with the adoptive home, and everything from cleaning the ears, to giving them the bath, to give them all the tests and the spay and the neuter and the whole thing. It's very, very long.
What do you need to do for people who are listening and who would be interested in helping out being a foster home? How do you get in touch with you, and what are the qualifications you need to do
Well,
that?
actually, to call us for sure, and we'll give you the information. But I think one of the most important things is to have the cooperation of the whole family, because it does involve the whole family. If say a lady would want to take in a cat and the husband doesn't like cats or whatever, it's not going to work out.
Right.
It has to be a family situation.
How many do you have in your house now?
Well, let's see. I have 5 of my own,
Wow.
and I have 3 kittens that were living outside most of the winter, and they're a bit timid, and they need to have some work done. Three sisters, but they're doing quite well.
That's wonderful. Now you also, in addition to doing work in nursing homes, you go to nursery schools.
Yes.
It's the other end of the spectrum. What's the purpose of that? To get kids used to pets, or to teach them the importance of having an animal and taking care of it and loving it, or?
Well, I find that with both the elderly and the very young children, there's a common link there in that they both respond, very well to animals, and the human-pet bond is very important to them. And I think teaching them starting at a very young level is important.
I agree. I've loved animals ever since I can remember. I just want to let you know that Minu is stealing the show here. She's on camera quite a bit. And she's beautiful. How did you get Minu?
She came into the animal hospital where I work, and evidently she'd been stepped on by a horse the night before, and her leg was crushed, and I guess the farmer thought she would be dead in the morning, and she wasn't.
Oh,
So
She's a
he
fighter.
brought her in to have her put to sleep because it was the humane thing to do. And the veterinarian that I work with, Steve Price, brought her to the back and asked me if we wanted to try saving this one. And it was quite a long haul, and she was a fighter, and then when it was all through, I couldn't give her up.
I don't blame you.
So
Mary goes to exorbitant lengths to save an animal, and that's one of the things that I admire about Mary.
Yeah. Well, I was
I'm very
telling her.
proud to be able to work with her.
well, one of the things that is starting to be being touched on in veterinary schools today is the link between how we relate to animals and how we're able to relate to people around us later on in life. And if we are unable to commit to and maintain a bond with an animal who is capable of unconditional love, absolute honesty, and complete consistency, if we can't sustain our part of the bond at that level, there's no way we can later on sustain a lasting relationship with another human being. And I think that how we relate to humans does show up later in how we relate to human beings, how we relate to the animals in the beginning. And so that's why I feel like I'm making a statement as a veterinarian and as a person that these animals that are handicapped or are not worthy of being, that shouldn't be thrown away, that just because they involve a little more work, I think that the example that you set by providing the kind of care needed for these animals is important to children and to other people around us. And I think that's an important part of Meow. It's why we're non-destroy, and it's why we we take each life as unique.
They are fantastic companions. I know what you mean. They love you no matter what, and it's a great feeling. And I don't think everyone understands that. And I don't think that many people value their lives the way they should, which is
Well, we
sad.
have people that throw away children.
This is true.
And there's a strong link between animal abuse in children and teenagers and violent criminals. It's well studied and well documented, the link between bedwetting, animal abuse, and the development into being a violent criminal as adults.
Wow.
Well, Christy, having said that, we need to go to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about some of the community involvement that you have, because as you mentioned to us before we came on the organization, you're a service organization, and I'd like to let the public know what it is that you're out there doing so that they can either benefit from it or get involved or both. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back in about a minute, minute and a half.
2 minutes,
Yeah,
3
whenever Ed
minutes.
decides to bring us back. So
Some
stay
point.
tuned. We'll be back with more Meow Incorporated.